She's staying in the same room. The mother's staying in the same room as us in the honeymoon suite.
Right.
Yeah.
Just one big king size?
No. She's got her own bed. She's got her own bed.
Sure.
But she's very encouraging about them having sex and having a baby very quickly.
Right. Yeah, she's very keen.
She's planting the seed for him to plant the seed.
Yeah, right.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted endless, like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice.
Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up! No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
It's like a monkey trying to fuck a football now, really. This whole thing, it's just a fucking mess.
Welcome back to the Brown Carpet Podcast. My name's Corey Farrell.
My name's Josh Groom.
Look, we're here. I'm here.
Barely
here.
How are your serotonin levels today?
It's Monday today.
Yep.
And my serotonin levels are pretty low. I turned 40 on Friday.
Yeah, good night.
You were there.
It was a good night.
It was a good night.
I saw some dance moves that I hope I never see again if I live to be a very old man.
Yeah, look, it'll be a while before I party that hard, but it was good fun.
Speaking of partying hard, last week we talked about one director's particular party fetish, his foot fetish.
Oh, Tarantino's.
Quentin Tarantino's foot thing.
Yeah.
Now, you promised we were going to get an update on the foot situation.
I scoured the web.
You went to Wikipedia, didn't you? First available page.
I looked at the first article.
What is the most foot fetishy film that dude has put out?
There's a couple of parameters you have to go by. Is it by feet time on screen? Is it by the most fetishized display of feet?
Sure.
The consensus online was that it was Dusk Till Dawn.
Dusk Till Dawn?
There's a scene in that where he's sucking on Salma Hayek's toes.
That is correct.
Tarantino is in the movie sucking on her toes.
I think he drinks liquor off her leg, running down her feet, off her toes, and he sucks her toes.
Yes.
He didn't direct that film.
No.
He wrote it and he starred in it.
Yeah.
Does it count?
Well, it's him.
It is literally him doing it.
That's great.
Yeah, Richie Gecko. His name.
Yeah, he didn't direct that movie, did he?
No, he did. Robert Rodriguez.
Ah, right.
Directed that bad boy.
No, I feel like the research is all...
It's fallen apart. So early here, and we've already derailed. Welcome to the Brown Carpet Podcast, where each episode we take a weird, real news story and together we twist it into an even weirder film. And at the end, we make a movie poster for the B-grade masterpiece that we cook up. You can see all the movie posters we've made in the Brown-led section of our website, www.thebrowncarpetpod.com. You can find us on Apple, Spotify, or watch all the episodes on our YouTube channel. Just search for the Brown Carpet Podcast, and you can see Corey's pretty little beady face. If you've got a suggestion for a weird, funny headline you'd like us to turn into champagne cinema, DM us on Instagram or email us at thebrowncarpetpod@gmail.com. Don't forget to give us a follow on Insta, TikTok, chuck us a like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Finally, we'd like to acknowledge the Gadigal people of the Eora Nation, the traditional custodians of the land we record this podcast upon. Always was, always will be, Aboriginal land. Well, look, let's set foot fetishes aside for the time being, because this week we've got a very interesting story, and it's a wedding-related story.
Let's do the top 3.
It's the top 3. The motherfucking top 3.
It's the top 3.
Josh,
Corey,
what are your top 3 wedding movies?
Look, I've got 3 on my mind, which is perfect because the top 3 segment. It's first of all, I got to go with The Princess Bride, 1987, Rob Reiner, absolute classic. It's a film that's got everything. It's got Andre the Giant.
Yeah.
It's got swashbuckling. It's got pirates.
Yeah.
It's got some of the most quotable quotes in cinema history.
My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die.
The soundtrack was also done by Dire Straits' Mark Knopfler. The whole thing done on a guitar.
I would argue that's not just one of the top 3 wedding movies. Like that's probably one of the most well-loved films in cinema.
Pure fantasy. I love that film.
Yeah.
Next up would be Bridesmaids, 2011. Paul Feig.
Kristen Wiig
in absolute stellar form. Rebel Wilson, amazing. So many scenes that are great.
So good.
Confronting the air marshal.
Rose Byrne.
Rose Byrne's
a great comedic actress. I love her.
Absolutely. The diarrhea sequence.
Yeah. Melissa McCarthy.
I mean, just one of the best casts.
Yeah.
So well written, so well performed. Yeah, I love that one. And then finally, The Graduate. 1967, Mike Nichols.
Yeah.
Young Dustin Hoffman and Anne Bancroft. Sizzling chemistry between the two of them.
One that dabbles in young men's fantasies.
Yeah.
Of the older woman.
Would you like me to seduce you? And one of the best ambiguous endings in cinema history.
Yeah. They just jump on the bus.
They jump on the bus and they're just sitting there and it's clear that neither of them know where the fuck they're going or how this is going to end. It's just this sort of...
It doesn't say that they're going to be together, does it?
Not necessarily. Like, the look on their faces is like they don't know what they've just done.
Because he kind of... He messed up, right?
Yeah, big time.
So it's
Big
like...
time.
Yeah, I always found that a bit strange.
Do you have any special mentions?
Yeah, The Wedding Singer.
The Wedding Singer's a good one.
Yeah. I particularly like Steve Buscemi in that movie as the disgruntled brother.
Yep. How good is Adam Sandler's career arc, just by the way?
Great.
Like with this year, like
Uncut Gems and
Uncut Gems, Hustle, Punch Drunk Love, one of my favourite films of his.
Paul Thomas Anderson.
Yep.
And speaking of movies I Love You Man.
Oh, thanks,
Paul
man.
Rudd.
I love you too.
No, the film.
Oh yeah.
Jason Segel, Paul Rudd, Lou Ferrigno.
The Masturbation Station.
Yeah. Masturbation Station. The Love of Rush.
That's a good one.
There's two anyway.
Should we get stuck into this week's story?
Let's do it. So what is the weird news story that we're going to turn into a film tonight?
Tonight we've got a pretty creepy one actually.
Yeah.
The headline reads, "Groom busted being breastfed by mum on his wedding day." It's pretty fucked up. A bride did a runner on her big day after she allegedly caught the groom doing the unthinkable in a toilet before walking down the aisle. Wedding planner Georgie Mitchell detailed the horrifying and somewhat unbelievable incident during an episode of the Unfiltered Bride podcast. While Georgie wasn't present at the big day, she'd been told the story by two co-workers who were present, including a makeup artist. She's named Jenny. For the purposes of this story, Jenny says to me, "I did a wedding the other day, and you'll never guess what happened. The bride needed to go to the toilet just before the ceremony and walked into the toilet, and what she saw was enough to end a wedding. The host proceeds to guess what the bride uncovered in the bathroom a few hours before the ceremony, listing an array of possibilities, including the groom being caught cheating. But the truth was way more shocking. He was being breastfed by his mum."
Oh my God.
Would that give you pause?
Yes.
If you walked in on your wife-to-be and she was being suckled by her own mother,
Yes.
do you think you'd push on?
Yes.
You didn't pause long enough.
No, I wouldn't. That is very strange.
You wouldn't?
No, it's very strange.
The pair then went on to question how the mother of a grown man could possibly still be producing milk, reasoning that it's because she'd never stopped.
Does it mention how old they were?
It doesn't, no.
I mean, does it matter? They're consenting adults.
I mean,
So
even if he's 21,
yeah.
it's well past use by date.
I kind of can see him getting bathed by his mum and...
It's pretty wrong,
It's really hard.
but it's a great kickoff for a story, I reckon.
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is a really weird headline.
Is it a bit sexy?
Do we make it sexy, you mean?
Well,
No, I don't think it is sexy.
Is it sexual, the
I think-
breastfeeding thing?
Because it's a breast. I mean, the urge and the inclination is to go sexy because it's breast. I say we don't do that.
Well, whose story is it? Who's our main character? Who's our...
The bride.
The bride?
The bride's the main character, yeah.
Because she's going through it, really.
Yeah.
She's making
it's happening
a discovery.
to her.
Yeah.
But this is definitely the inciting incident. This is where it all kicks off. This is
You think it's our
This
opening
is a
scene?
great opening scene.
Because all the questions that follow on, but we can use the rest of the film to kind of fill out
Yeah.
what the actual story behind
That would
this
be a
is.
really cool opening scene where you're really close on the mother-in-law and you feel like, oh, it's just an elderly mother that's breastfeeding.
Yep.
It's really sweet and it's kind of,
You're just hearing this quiet,
and it pulls back and you see a man in a top English
thick
suit.
moustache. It's got a milk moustache.
Yeah, tails and then she walks in on it. Yeah, I think that's where we start.
How about we wind back just a little bit? How about we start with the bride backstage?
With her bridesmaids.
Yeah, with the bridesmaids. And let's make our lead character a little flawed. So she's a bit of a self-centered, vain. She's very beautiful. This is a big day, so she's got videographers, she's got a stills photographer, the lighting's just right.
Are you saying she's like a bridezilla, or is it more like she's like an Insta influencer or something?
She lives on Instagram. Maybe she's Insta-living the whole thing as well.
I don't want to slag off influencers.
Nothing wrong with influencing. She's based her whole personality around this
Right.
superficial, airbrushed image of her that she puts out to the world, which is maybe why she's ended up in a relationship with a guy who suckles milk from his mother's boob.
Yeah.
She's not looking too deeply into situations. She's wound up in this relationship. Maybe it's a bit of a whirlwind romance.
Yep. Oh, they only just met and just getting married really quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So maybe we could use the father as a bit of an exposition tool.
Yeah.
And he comes in just prior to the wedding to try and...
Talk her out of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So he knows something.
Well, he just thinks it's all a bit sus. He doesn't like this guy. It's all too soon. The guy's a bit of a superficial dick. Like, he's handsome, he's got a good car, maybe he's rich or whatever, but he's just a bit of a nothing man. You know?
He's like a two-dimensional dude.
Absolutely, yeah.
She doesn't want any cracks in this beautiful facade that is her life.
Absolutely, it's picture perfect.
So she's not even hearing it. She's just like, get the fuck out, Dad.
Yep.
Yeah.
Screaming match.
Yeah, she basically kicks him out of the wedding.
Kicks him out.
Yeah. Okay.
Bursts into tears.
Yeah.
She shrieks, face goes red, she's got the mascara's running and stuff now.
Yeah.
She needs to go wash her face. And that's when
she discovers.
That's when we get that shot. We see her face first.
Yeah.
And then we get the close up, starting on the mother-in-law that will pull out.
Yeah.
And we reveal the horrific scene.
Yeah.
Of a grown man breastfeeding.
Yeah.
Should we get our cast in line just so we know what we're looking at?
Yeah. Okay. No, let's do that because I think we've got the main players now.
Yeah.
So I imagine a very handsome man for the husband.
Yes, statuesque.
And I go straight to every time I think of like perfect man, I think of Superman, Henry Cavill. I think he's like a flawless dude, right?
Yep.
And I think
Henry Cavill's a great husband.
I think he'd play like almost a droney type dude,
monosyllabic, emotionless.
Yeah.
But very beautiful.
Psychopath, thinly veiled psychopath.
Who's our mother? The breastfeeder.
What do you reckon?
The nurturer.
Who do you like for the mum?
I thought of Drew Barrymore.
Ooh, I like that.
America's sweetheart.
Yeah.
She's a little bit older
Flip that
now.
on its head.
A bit matronly now.
Yeah.
There's a nice little darkness that runs beneath the surface of Drew.
Yeah.
She could play that role really well.
Yeah.
How about our protagonist? Our lead.
Well, I'm thinking because we've touched on the Insta glamour.
Yep.
She's going to be I think she's going to be stereotypically beautiful.
Yes.
So blonde.
Yep.
Hot.
Yep.
So maybe who's the chick from Euphoria?
Sydney Sweeney?
That's
Sweeney?
it. Yeah.
How about the dad? Her dad, who's just been run out of the wedding. Again, what about like a Brad Pitt?
We're going to keep everyone pretty hot, right?
Yeah. He's an older generation of hotness.
Yep.
And so he's removed from the wedding, but he's a guy who's got compassion and heart, is a little bit older.
I think that's good casting for him being the dad of her.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that.
Yep.
Okay,
cool.
That's our cast.
So we've got Henry Cavill breastfeeding from Drew Barrymore is our shocking image.
Yep.
So obviously she's stunned by what she sees.
Yeah.
Somewhat taken
Is
aback.
there too big of an age gap between Henry Cavill and Sydney?
Maybe it's a bit much.
It's too much, I think.
What about Timothée Chalamet?
Oh, as the husband.
As the husband. He's a bit younger, absolutely chiseled facial features.
Yeah. And I think he'd play that kind of, he can do kind of a creepy...
Definitely.
Yeah.
More age appropriate with Sydney.
Yeah, I feel like this sits more comfortably with me now.
And I can see him breastfeeding from Drew Barrymore a lot easier than Henry Cavill.
Yeah. I want Henry Cavill in there somewhere. Maybe we'll find a role for him later in the movie.
We'll get Superman in there somehow.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's our cast.
Yeah.
So she's just witnessed this horrific scene moments before her wedding.
Yeah.
But I think she's got too much invested in this to pull out. I think she's going to go through with it regardless.
Well, she does in the story.
She does it in the story. In the story, she ran out.
Did she?
Yeah.
I thought she still married him in the story. Really?
No, she left. It did not happen.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd like you to check that.
I will check that. I'm fucking sure she ran out.
When this plays, I want to hear the deck scratch and
right.
And then a Corey was right flash up on the screen. Oh, this is going to be so juicy.
Wait for it, mate. Wait for it.
She continued on to marry him.
Okay, so there you go. A bride did a runner on her big day after she allegedly caught the groom doing the unthinkable. It's the first line of the story, mate. She did a runner.
Hang on. But that was not the case. The bride was adamant about becoming a missus and continued to marry her husband despite what she saw.
Where are you getting that from?
This is from...
Bloody additional sources. This is...
This is from the same article.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, well. Yeah, righto. Okay. So she goes through with it.
Yeah.
The wedding happens.
Well, we're true to the story.
Yes, we'll stay true to the story.
Right.
They get married. Obviously, massive red flag.
Doesn't kiss the bride. Or do she kisses, she moves her mouth.
Yeah.
She gets a kiss on the cheek.
Yeah, a little cheek kiss.
It's not a tongue action.
Leaves a little milky mark there. Which brings us to the honeymoon. I mean, that's going to be awkward.
Yeah.
Let's throw a little bit of trauma on top of the weird.
Mm-hmm. On
the father's drive home, he's involved in a car wreck and killed.
Are you suggesting that there's some weirdness, it's not just there's more to it than...
I didn't say that, mate, but I like where you're going.
There's more to it than just this
There could be. Potentially suspicious circumstances. But for now, She just gets the news that her father was
Has
involved
died
in a
in a
car
car
accident.
Okay.
So obviously the wedding night shenanigans are off. She's traumatized. And the next morning they're to be on the plane. So
second red flag.
Yep.
On the plane. Her husband.
Yep.
Her mother-in-law.
Right. Yeah.
She's on the window side.
Yeah, right.
She's not even sitting next to her husband. She's coming on the honeymoon.
Sure. The mum's coming with them.
She insists.
Where are they going?
Eastern Europe, somewhere.
So like Romania.
Bulgaria, Romania.
Yeah. Somewhere cheap. Somewhere you can get a castle for not too much. The mum joins them.
Yeah.
And I guess the cat's out of the bag now.
Yeah.
So maybe, night of the movies, he's got one hand in the popcorn, one mouth on a boob.
But I think this is like more than just breastfeeding, right? There's something weird about the mother. Like,
beside the breastfeeding?
Yeah, like she's doing it for a reason. Is she otherworldly? Like, is she like...
Yeah.
Is it even her son? Do you know what I mean? Like, is she...
Yeah, like the invasion of the Body Snatchers.
Yeah.
She's almost like the queen bee in the situation.
Yeah.
She keeps them all nurtured on her milk.
2 red flags so far, but she's so in love, and he comes from money. The mum seems like she's rich, well off. It's like, we'll look after you. So she just carries on, I guess.
She's blinded by the facade.
Yeah. She's staying in the same room. The mother's staying in the same room as in the honeymoon suite.
Right.
Yeah.
Just one big king size?
No. She's got her own bed. She's got her own bed.
Sure.
But she's very encouraging about them having sex and having a baby very quickly.
Right. Yeah, she's very keen.
She's planting the seed for him to plant the seed.
Yeah, right. As their relationship progresses, as they get back to, normality, these cracks begin to widen. You know, like he's always said that he's got this online coaching company, but that turns out to be like a sketchy sort of cam girl site.
Yeah.
Where he's got all these models, guys and girls coming in every day.
Yeah.
All beautiful.
Yeah.
All kind of like vapid and drone-like almost. Maybe when they return back to their hometown, the mother insists she moves in with them.
Right.
In her farm.
I think she's got a big farmhouse.
Big estate.
Right.
Massive barn that's been turned into kind of like a studio/dormitory.
Yeah.
Big mansion, obviously.
Yeah.
All of it's rigged up with cameras and stuff for surveillance.
Yeah. Yeah.
She's now under the microscope everywhere she goes.
I think she's starting to realise pretty quickly that she's being trapped. The walls are closing in on her. This isn't what she signed up for, obviously.
She's pregnant immediately.
Yeah. Like, straight away.
He's got powerful seed.
Yeah.
Very powerful seed.
And he starts acting strange. Like, I think the more whoever feeds on the mother, they start doing weirder things like...
So you're saying more than one... So maybe some of the cam models, they're also feeding.
Well, she starts noticing weird things, like there's always people at the house.
Yep.
And they're all dressed similarly.
Yep.
Like, I think maybe they're not a uniform, but they're all like culty. They're not wearing robes, but they're wearing the same.
There's a level of uniformity to them all.
What was that Heaven's Gate? They all had the Cortez.
Yeah.
No, they've all got something like
all the Nike sneakers on.
Yeah, there's some weird.
And maybe there's something in the way they interact. It's not like a normal conversation between two people. It feels a little bit like ChatGPT. Like, she's noticed when she says, "How you going?" or "Good morning," it's almost verbatim the same answer that they all give.
Yeah.
Guy or girl, "I'm having a great day," and "How are you?"
But she notices they talk differently to each other. Before they got married, she could have conversations with him. They'd talk about things. It wasn't super deep, but it was enough to, fill that void in her life of having a connection.
Sure.
It's intimacy.
Yep.
But now it's like he's just doing the bare minimum to get to stop talking to her.
Just to seem normal.
And then when he's having conversations with his mother and these other people, it's almost like they're talking like code.
Yeah,
Like you said, like AI, pidgin English, some weird, like, it's almost another language.
It's just like, it kind of makes sense, but it's also like, what the fuck are you talking about?
And like, sometimes she might catch, are they blinking at each other? Like, communicating in
a little Morse code going on back and forth. So she's noticing a lot of these models are living on site back in the studio.
Yeah.
She's now pregnant. She's feeling more and more trapped every day. She's feeling watched every day. I think she's starting to lose sleep. She probably can't sleep at night.
Yeah.
She's constantly, the mother's sleeping in the corner of the room. So at night she likes to walk the grounds just to get out when she knows where she's not being watched.
Yeah.
She'll do laps at night on, stare up at the stars, think, what have I done?
Yeah.
Is this right for me? Can I get out? Is there any way out at this point?
What about, maybe Henry Cavill is her older brother.
Okay.
Well, yeah, maybe an uncle.
Yeah.
Maybe it's her, anyway, he's an outsider
on
her family side.
Yep.
Because he's like, something sus about your dad dying. He spoke to me, and he knows, and like, I know something sus is going on.
Yep.
Maybe it's one of those things where it's like a rapid pregnancy.
Yeah,
like
right.
She's getting way too pregnant too fast.
Yeah, like 2-3 weeks in, she's already showing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She also can't produce milk.
Oh, well, who's going to produce the milk then?
The mother.
The mother's put her hand
it's
up.
on
to breastfeeding
purpose.
duty.
She's like this. She's almost like this vessel, and by design, she can't produce milk.
But the mother is very keen to step into the milk providing. How about this? How about the mother? She brings them downstairs. I have an announcement to make. I've met somebody really special that I'd like you both to meet because I think they'll be playing an important part in our lives moving forward.
Yeah.
And she calls him in from the next room. In walks her new man, who is her father.
What the fuck?
The father who died in the car accident. Maybe he's got a beard now or a mustache.
And he doesn't recognise his daughter.
He doesn't recognise her. No one else in the room acknowledges the fact that this is her father except for her.
And he like openly breastfeeds on her in front of everyone.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like it's nothing. So Brad Pitt returns.
Yeah.
But now he's playing this new boyfriend type figure.
And he's dressed like everyone else.
And maybe they're both breastfeeding simultaneously.
I like the dinner scene where
Timothée Chalamet's on one side and Brad Pitt on the other,
yeah.
with Drew Barrymore carrying a conversation.
Yeah. And that's what she brings up, like, I know you can't produce any milk. Just because she knows she's this being, right?
Yep.
She goes, I'll take care of the baby.
Happy to take care of your child. She's starting to have breaks with sanity at this point.
Yeah.
She's got to be thinking, am I losing my fucking mind? Am I the only one that's seeing all this craziness?
Yeah.
She's on another one of her night walks, staring up at the sky. She's talking to herself. She's like, am I losing my shit? I feel like I'm losing my shit, like I'm losing my grip. She's looking up at the sky, like looking at this star or whatever, and the star is coming closer. And she's literally watching it move through the sky. Like she's feeling like her mind is splitting in the moment.
Yeah.
And this star plummets all the way down to Earth and stops just before the ground, like just inches above the ground.
Like a ball of light.
A big glowing ball of light. And she's just watching from like 10, 15 meters.
You know I love alien shit. This is great.
The ball of light splits open and from it steps the mother. And behind the mother is 3 more of these models, cam models, and they're all just like drones just following her. And they just march quietly back towards the house.
Right.
And the ball of light ascends back up to the sky.
I like it.
So now she's following them. They get back into the house.
She's hiding?
Yeah.
She doesn't know that.
Just at a safe distance.
Yeah.
She knows where all the cameras are now,
Yeah.
so she knows where to act normal and where she can duck to and hide. She's been and she watches them. They walk towards the staircase and they take a sharp left just before touch a panel.
Yeah.
And this door she's never seen before in the house opens and they descend down into the basement.
To the basement, to the barn. It's like a tunnel access to the barn.
Yeah.
Are we talking like a dairy farm situation?
Yeah.
Yes.
I reckon it's the milking station.
Oh my God.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So she's taking these fresh cam models down into the milking station and maybe she hooks them up to like some sort of apparatus, a drinking device.
Yeah.
Connected by tubes.
So it's like stables.
Stables, pods almost, kind of like Matrix pods.
So
they all have these sort of milk fountains, milk spouts.
Are they floating in the milk?
Yeah. Just like weightless in this frothy milk.
Yeah. So they're almost like, it's like osmosis, like they're actually absorbing the milk into their bodies.
Drinking it in their pores.
Yeah, it's coming through their fingers. It's just like...
And the mother, after hooking the models up to their pods, she walks up to the main like platform and climbs into this thing and she peels off her outer clothes. And underneath, that's where we see she has not just 2 breasts.
She's got teats everywhere.
But she's got breasts here. She's got back breasts. She's got arm titties. Yeah. And each one she kind of like...
She plugs
onto a milker and they start...
Yeah, I imagine she just walks into a room and she just like does this and like drops the robe.
Yeah.
And then her underlings like hook her up. She just holds like this, right?
Yeah.
She's like, what the fuck is going on at this point?
Yeah.
So what does she do? Is her first instinct to run or is she like, I'm going to take this shit down?
If she runs, they're going to find her. They're going to track her down.
Yeah.
There's a lot of... Maybe there's like 20 different pods hooked up.
Yeah.
They'll find her.
Well, I think too, she kind of watches this unfold and I feel like everyone's at their most vulnerable when they're feeding.
Yeah.
Because they kind of like zone out, eyes roll in the back of their heads.
Yeah.
So this is a time and so she just gets like a weapon or something. What would she do? Right. What would she get?
One of those industrial spanners or something, a big heavy metal device.
And she just starts going on this killing spree. Milk and blood is going everywhere.
Yeah, right. She's just smashing pods up.
Yeah.
Just cracking them open.
Yeah. She's like, just raging out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And they shatter and fall out of the pods and they're all kind of limp and jelly-like and stuff. A couple of them start to like come to. Unplug themselves in the milk thing and they start coming at her. But she's now in like protection mama rage.
Yeah. Hell hath no fury, right?
Yeah.
And she's just like cutting throats with a shovel or whatever.
Yeah.
She's got like kind of like a video game where she just nails all these. She John Wicks the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
And then she gets to, just before she gets to get the mother, her dad steps in front. But it's not her dad.
But it looks just like her dad.
I mean, it is her dad.
Yeah. Baby, what are you doing? It's okay. I love you. I'm here. You know, he's talking like he used to suddenly.
Yeah.
And trying to like get her heart
to drop her guard.
Yeah. So she's got the weapon up and as he's speaking, tears start to flow from her eyes. She starts to lower the bat.
Yeah.
And maybe he opens his mouth to speak and instead of words, just milk
comes out.
Froth starts coming down.
I love it.
And at that point, she tightens her grip.
Yeah.
And fucking smashes his face in.
I think we just something gnarly, like she decapitates him or something.
Yeah.
One like a big,
And it's spent blood.
Milk just spills out of his neck. Sweet. So now she has a fight with the mother.
Yeah, right.
So
I think this is kind of like the big action set piece. Like she kind of like wrenches herself out of all the milking things.
She's cutting
all of the
tubes
teats
off.
Yeah. But nothing's slowing her down. She's like spouting milk and cheese and yogurt's flying out of her parts. It's very graphic. It's very milky. But I think she overcomes. You know, it's that strength of a mother wronged. You know, her fury finds a way to overcome this beast.
Yeah.
Somehow.
In the process of killing the mother, she absorbs or takes in milk, the mother's milk.
Oh, it's like it splashes into her mouth or something.
Yeah.
Like an infection type situation.
Yeah.
So then what's the effect of that on her and her unborn child?
How about almost like it's back at the start.
Close up on her face.
Someone walks in on her.
Okay, yeah.
And she's breastfeeding her husband.
So Timothée Chalamet.
Yep. And her baby.
Oh, one on each breast.
One on each breast. And she just kind of smiles evilly at the camera.
Yeah.
As the final shot. Set up for a sequel.
That's so fucked up. I like it.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a movie?
That's a good out.
Yeah.
Is there a place for Henry Cavill after all of that? Maybe he can be the guy in the coda that pops in.
Yeah.
Hey, you ready to go to the party? Everyone's here for the party.
Yeah.
Be out in just a moment. What do you got for a title?
Oh, okay. I want to divide these into ridiculous and maybe... Because I feel like this is kind of it's ridiculous, but I feel like it could have a cooler sci-fi name or something.
It's a mother with 20 boobs and hooked up to a milking machine. It's pretty fucking ridiculous.
It is. My breastfed's wedding.
My breastfed wedding. It's good.
The nuptials.
The nuptials, yeah, sure.
On a more serious note, I've got The Feed.
The Feed is not bad.
Latched.
Oh, The Feed is good because that also ties into all the video.
Yes.
The Feed.
The Feed.
Yeah.
Constant
video.
And Mother's Milk.
Mother's Milk's very good too.
Yeah.
I do like The Feed. What did I have? I had Till Breast Do We Part. It's a bit silly.
It's very silly.
The Milky Way.
Yeah.
It ties into
the stars.
She looks up at the stars.
Yeah.
I like The Feed.
The Feed's strong. The Feed, because it feels like it's like The Mist, The Happening. It's like one of those type movies, right?
Yeah,
It's a sci-fi thriller. Yeah. How about taglines? What do you got for those?
Milk was a bad choice.
Ron Burgundy?
Yeah. My other tagline was, will the marriage outlast the milk?
Mother knows breast.
That's pretty good.
Yeah? With that one? Okay.
I like that one, yeah. So The Feed.
Yeah.
Mother knows breast.
Mother's breast. Should we recap all the casting?
Yes.
Brad Pitt is the dad.
Our wife's dad, yes. Yeah. The wife is played by Sweeney from Euphoria. And then the mother, Drew Barrymore.
And Timothée Chalamet is the husband. And Henry Cavill as the...
Uncle Henry. Right at the end.
Yeah.
Little cameo.
He pops in twice.
Yeah, 2 little pop-ins. How about soundtrack? Any music?
Yeah, I had the Nipsey Getting Bigger.
Mental as anything. Yes.
And Milkshake Brings All the Boys to the Yard. Killies.
That's great. That's our end credit song, I reckon.
Yeah.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to try. My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and they're like, it's better than yours. Damn right, it's better than yours. I can teach you, but I have to try. You're on it. You want me to.
That's a film.
That's a film.
I like it.
There it is.
The Feed.
Mother knows breast.
Yes.
Until next week, don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted antlers like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fu.
Real nice.
Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Zitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Welcome back to the Brown Carpet Podcast. Oh, I hate myself. Display brightness. A little bit
Are
sniffly.
you going to sniffle the whole way through?
Josh?
Corey, how are you?
Good. I'm good. How are you?
Not bad. How's your week been?
It's been good.
Yeah.
Foot fetished. Foot fetished? Ugh. Fetish.
So let's set foot fetish as a time for this film story. For you. Look, we're gonna get. Let's just.
No, I was supposed to ask you.
Oh, for fuck's sake!
What are your top? What am I doing?
Why that? Milk was a bad choice.
Ooh.
Clutching me to you and making these little noises in the back of your throat. It was like the moment you had the milk on your tongue.
It was like I was waiting for it.